Morning everyone, how are we doing? Let me get rid of that boarding soon text. Hey, there we go. Morning James. Morning that AV geek. Nice to see you again. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. James, you're working. Got it, working from home. I understand. Say no more. Been there. So I still don't have the yoke cam fixed, that's a bit annoying. I'm starting to suspect my capture card is just busted. Doesn't matter what I do, I mean it detects it, but it just won't do anything, which is a bit weird. Hey, Nick's in. Morning, Nick. How's things, Nick? You okay? Alright. So, we're at Terminal 5, Heathrow. All I've done so far is just get some ground power to the plane. I don't know if it's still a thing, but it used to be if you run the EFB, without any battery power or any ground power to the plane, it would just switch off after a while. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Good morning, Adrian. Nice to see you. Right, let's get some info on top here. There we go. So, Heathrow to Dublin and back today is the plan. That is the plan. And we're starting from Terminal 5 in Heathrow. Runway 09 right. So we're sort of heading east out of London. Although we're going to turn to the north fairly rapidly. Like we won't get over anywhere near the centre of London. We'll be sort of left and gone. Going up past kind of Birmingham, Coventry, that kind of way. That'll be all good. Right, let's hop up here and get the APU started. Just waiting for the available button to appear once I click it. I know I forgot something. Let's have a look at our fuel. So if we start by importing the sim brief plan, there we go. Heathrow, Dublin. And we're arriving on runway 10 right. Actually got quite a cool approach into Dublin. It's that one where you kind of wrap all the way around Dublin. Wind's not looking too bad. What are we at there? 70 degrees, 6 knots, coming at Heathrow, 40 and 7. That looks okay. Cruising altitude 360. Cost index 46. Yeah, that's looking good. Alright, let's download our fuel. 5,200 kilograms. And almost a full house. 3 empty seats. Let's get those people boarded. And baggage and catering can be done with. Still need to get GSX. That's on the list for sure. It might be that I get a bit of extra time this afternoon if the stars align. So I might do things like... There's a load of jobs I've been putting off. Like, because every time... all the time I have available to fly, I feel like I should be streaming. And of course it's very hard to move the stream forward if I never actually do the things to move it forward and just constantly stream as I am. So, could be good to get a bit of extra time. AV Geek runways are 09 right, coming out of Heathrow. And I've forgotten already. What was it? 10 right, coming into Dublin. Using the Bags 1R Star and the Ulti 1J Sid out of Heathrow. There we go, that's all looking good. You flying along? Alright, let's get APU bleed on. Engine pumps on. Navs 1, 2 and 3 on. Oxygen crew supply, arm the lights, no smoking lights, because I can't even believe there was a time where it was okay to have that as off, but whatever. Nav and logo. Looking pretty good. We can run the tests. I know they always do the same thing. Begs the question, why bother? That's fine. Good. Janice, good morning. How are you? What are we at? 10. What's the pressure? Local pressure. 1025. Wow, that needs to be brightened up. Can hardly see it. Bags 1R. AV Geek. I think in more modern airplanes, Rob, they have a no device light. So, like, don't use your phones.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention.
T1J indeed, yep.
Operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Whoops. Are we fully loaded yet? Yes, we are. Good. Flex temp minus 51. Remember that. I'll put it in there. Flaps 1 takeoff because Heathrow and there's a massive runway and it's all good today. Everything is normal. Yeah, we've got a 130 V1, 131 rotate, and a 135 V2. What gate am I at? That is a good question. Let's have a look. It's the one that's on the corner nearly of Terminal 5. They never got a sign. Yeah, no sign. That would teach me for not buying expensive payware airports. I'm a bit gutted I missed out on INI builds crazy deals last week. I was streaming and a friend sent a link. I think they were giving, what was it, JFK, Detroit and LAX for 20 bucks. Or pounds, I should say. And considering it's that much each, I was like, yeah, that's a good deal. I'll get that once I'm finished streaming. Finished streaming and the deal had gone. Never mind. Okay, EGLL, departure, runway 09 right. And we're going to want to go down to the bottom here, LT1J, there it is. Insert, and into Dublin, arriving ILS 10 right. Okay, so SimBrief has told me to do bags 1R, and the plane has bags 2R, which is obviously a slightly newer version. We'll just go with that, it's fine. Hey Harry, Terminal 5, if you look at Heathrow from like a satellite view, Terminal 5 is the leftmost terminal. I think. I'm not a London native, but I'm fairly sure that's what the case is. I'm not sure on the via. Let's go with that for now. Alright, let's step through the route, make sure it makes sense. Okay, so out of London. It's looking good. If we clear that discontinuity. That's joined up, that's good. What about into Dublin? There it is. Aha, okay. It probably makes sense to get rid of IFBAP. And then join it straight up. There we go. That's better. Probably not the correct thing to do, but that's fine. Bottom corner. Yeah, that's it. Good, we have a flight plan. Performance data is all good. Cool. Flight level, I think it's 360. Yeah, 360. Then 8,000, 4,000. Then we're down. Just going to check out a chart actually. Is ChartFox still down? Doesn't seem to be working. It wasn't working the other night. Hey ho. Right, it must be time to get rid of the jetway because it's time to go. As for the pushback plan, we'll get our tail over here. That'll do. Okay, seatbelt lights on, beacon on.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
Let's get ready for pushback. Get that parking brake off. Hey, morning, Brian. How's the PC? Is it behaving?
Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board. Your safety is our top priority, so we appreciate a few minutes of your attention while we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. You can follow along with the safety information. The release should lift the top flap of the bundle. Please keep your seatbelt fastened low and tight across your lap, even when the seatbelt sign is off, and have it visible to the crew at all times. Your life vest is in a pouch under your seat. If instructed by the crew, tear open the pouch, put the vest and put it over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, secure the buckle, and pull the strap tight. As you exit the aircraft, replace the vest by pulling down firmly on the right tab, while blowing into the tube from both sides. A locator light on the shoulder will turn on automatically in weather, and remember, never place your vest inside the aircraft. This Airbus A320 is 8 emergency exits, 2 doors in the front, 4 window exits over the wings, and 2 doors in the back. Each door is equipped with an evacuation slide that can be detached from the aircraft and used as a ramp. All exits are clearly marked with a sign overhead. If necessary, floor level lighting will illuminate the aisles helping find the exit. Please take a moment now to locate your closest exit and remember it may be behind you. If there is a change in cabin pressure, 4 oxygen masks will drop from overhead. Firmly pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, pull the elastic bands around your head, and tighten using the straps on both sides. Even though the bag may not inflate, oxygen will be flowing. Be sure to put your mask on first before helping others, and we'll let you know when it's no longer needed. We'll be passing through the cabin to make sure we're ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt is fastened, your seat back is upright, your tray table is stood, and all carry items are put away. If you have any questions about the safety features of this aircraft, please don't hesitate to ask. Smoking, food, use electronic cigarettes is never allowed on any flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors and extra suppression is a federal offense and could result in a fine. For your convenience, this aircraft has 3 restrooms, one in the front of the cabin and 2 in the back, and each is equipped with an instant changing table. We'll be adjusting the main cabin lights for departure if you use there is a reading light above your seat. We're here to make sure you have a safe and comfortable flight. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoyed this experience.
Alrighty. Sorry, I thought I'd go quiet then. I love hearing the engine start. Let's get 2 engines spinning. That's what we like. Yeah, you can't beat it, James. Can't beat it. No problems leaving it in the open. Cured the overheating. Oh, good. So where was it before that made it overheat? Let's get some taxi lights on. Right, I think we're all good to go. Let's get the engine selector back into normal. Doors, which I should have done. It's my bad. Auto brakes max. Train on ND. No, James, I didn't. I did see it doing the rounds. It's funny, there's part of me that thought that would be really good, but also I'm not entirely sure how useful that would be as a streamer, because I kind of like to do everything with the mouse to show you what's going on. So it kind of is a little bit not quite right for what I do. Okay. APU off. I've been looking at Moby Flight. I keep looking at Moby Flight and thinking that could be cool. Maybe sort of make my own thing. My issue is that I want to make a setup that can go between aircraft really easily. So getting something that is very much Airbusy and might present its own challenges with Boeing. Yeah, I don't know. I think really I'd like to make some sort of autopilot controls that are almost plane agnostic, if that makes sense. Like I started watching a thing the other day of someone that had made a Boeing cockpit in their house, and I was like, oh, that'd be so good. But you know what would happen? You'll do the very last job on it to make it perfect, then it'd be like, oh, what about an Airbus? It's like, damn it, I've got to start again. Or build another one. And then where does that end? Ah, ATC. Thank you, Harry. Alright, takeoff config. Normal, predictive wind shear. Let's get that on. TARA, not predictive.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Takeoff config normal. Let's go. Oh, the space in the desk for the computer. Yeah, that would make sense, Brian. Yeah, I mean, that 4090 is a monster. As is your CPU. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, looking good. Let's get ourselves lined up. my screen just a touch more. Okay, so we need to be above 5,000, ideally at 6, so we'll get 6 in the window instead of 5. We're good to go. Let's bring the engines up to 40% N1. Holding it on the brakes. Rotate. Gear up. There we go, up, up and away. Oh, you're getting one too, Brian, that's cool. Good. Cheers, Harry. Yeah, a little bit slow on the rotation, I thought. Could maybe have done a bit better there. Yeah, that's the plan, James. I'm going to do a few of those. I think I'm going to get FSLTL sorted and, yeah, do a few in observer mode. Maybe find one that I can copy and sort of pretend I'm that person. Yeah, I think Moby Flight's going to be the next thing. I've got this idea, and it's a germ of an idea. It could be a really bad idea, but there's part of me that wants to explore it. In that maybe I could make a little panel to kind of do all my autopilot controls, but make it such that it can go between Boeing and Airbus and maybe even other aircraft like really easily. I don't want to lock myself in. Okay, so after this waypoint we can start getting ourselves up to flight level 360. Standard pressure. Alrighty, let's go. Appreciate it, James. Thank you, mate. Yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool to maybe get some of these controls like altitude, speed, heading, maybe some buttons to control AP1, AP2. But of course it's very different between Boeing and Airbus, so it'd be nice to arrive at something that could be either. And then you start thinking, oh, maybe I could do something with these, with the top panel. But then that gets complicated real quick, doesn't it? Again, though, could maybe do the basics. Maybe could do some lights. Maybe engine switches. What could we do? Let's have a look. Turn our lights off for a start. Before I get too carried away talking. I mean, what's roughly the same between Boeing and Airbus? You got these switches. I mean, on the 737 we have 2 switches. On the A320 we have 3. So that's fine. You could just ignore one of them on Boeing. You could do buttons for things like oxygen crew supply, maybe. I mean, really, I don't really use much of this side at all. Fuel pumps, obviously the Boeing has fuel pumps. It has a crossfeed button or switch. APU system is different. So yeah, I guess it's just looking at things that are common between both. Not necessarily looking to completely replicate how it looks and how it feels, but more how it could function. And then I thought, if I make this panel, maybe I could point a camera at it somehow. And maybe have it sort of down the bottom of the screen here. Always visible, always on display. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, why don't I add a PFD and an ND as well? I don't know, it could get complicated. One of those that sounds like a great idea until you start to unpack it and realise what's involved. And then consider streaming as well. That's the thing, if I was just on my own flying, I would probably get one of those mini cockpit things. Just not sure how it helps the stream. And then, sort of pulling on that thread, what about all this? You know? Because you can get real ones of these, of course. I mean, really, like a tablet would be the best way, I think. Because there is one, isn't there, where you can get this like via a web browser. And therefore have like a tablet. That way you get exactly the right thing, you're not trying to replicate the buttons or anything weird. Just about to go to hospital to get the MRI results. I hope it all goes okay, Harry. Use the tablet, Brian. Cool. I don't suppose there's a way to do that with the PMDG, is there? Guessing probably not, seeing as they don't have an EFB yet. Yeah, good luck, Harry. We're all rooting for you. How reliable is that tablet, Brian? Is it? Are there any like weird gotchas? I'm just conscious that it sounds like it could be awesome, but then actually in practice, is it responsive? Is it, you know? Oh, that sucks, Harry. I'm sorry, mate. But I hope you know you're always welcome in here. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, no worries, Harry. Take it easy, mate. There's also the radio panels. Oh, what? So where are we? Got these down here. How does that work then with twisting the dial on a touchscreen? Is that really weird? Oh, the Satec panel is only suitable for, yeah, GAs. That makes sense. .76 something at the moment. I mean, I've just got it in managed, so my cost index was... .46 is my cost index for the climb. Hey, Christos. Glad to have you on the flight. Hope you're well. Your mate works with them, some good parts in there to build a cockpit. What's that, James? Moby Flight? What's my next waypoint? Let's have a look. TNT. That's where we are. 250 miles to go. Oh, was that your Cessna one, Brian, that you spoke about? Sorry, AV Geek, I'm just realising I didn't put the map on. Hopefully that helps you. I think probably the next thing I should get is the add-on for the throttles. And I also need to switch my joystick over. Because really at the moment I'm flying in the first officer's position. Joystick on the right, throttles on the left. But that may need to change. It will mean I'll be rubbish for a while. Resetting all my abilities once again. So what sim was the Cessna thing for? Was that like Flight Sim 10 or something, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet elbows.
Never heard of
clear
GoFlight,
from
I'm just
the aisle.
googling them.
Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Oh wow, there's loads. Look at that. Europe in 20 days. Nice. Where are you going? You said about this a while ago, didn't you? You say Spain? FS 2002. It's going back some, isn't it? I remember having Flight Sim 2000. When I was just a kid, I didn't know what I was doing, but loved it. Absolutely loved it. There's that tiny little airport on the edge of Chicago that you'd always spawn at. I'd basically take off from there and then attempt to find my way to like O'Hare or Midway. Damn, AV Geek, you're going all over. I bet Athens would be cool. Never been to Athens. Should probably be looking at a bit of descent planning, really, because we've got the sea staring at us. There, where's this waypoint? Asda. And 45. $101 miles required. Top of descent at 40 miles, that works. Oh, what the big CRT. You had 7 21-inch CRTs. There. Yeah, they weighed a ton, didn't they? I remember I upgraded from a 17-inch CRT to a 19-inch, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was so big. .78 AB Geek. It's weird looking back at the old flight sims, because like, I just typed in FS 2002 into Google, and it's like they did one every other year. That's a lot of money, yeah, I bet. €100. Wow. I mean, that'll get you like a 4K 50-inch TV now. It's crazy, isn't it? How far it's come. Trying to work out what that is ahead of me. Right, how are we doing? 107 miles. We need 101. Is it as the crow flies though? Near enough. Near enough. Okay, let's start making our way down. 8,000 feet, 2,000 feet per minute. Then we sort of wrap our way around Dublin. Go from 8,000 here down to 4. Pick up the ILS. And then we're in.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
It's that angle C there, isn't it? Holyhead where you catch the ferry. Okie dokie. Probably should start inputting our destination data in. So 1026, 80 and 8 knots. It's not terrible. Should be okay. One thing I watch a lot live is Madeira. Oh, as in like people, like IRL streamers. Someone sat there with a camera at the end of the runway. That sort of thing. One 026. It was 80 and 8, wasn't it? Yeah, I bet that's good fun, that, Brian. You get some interesting moments. Okay, charts are not working on ChartFox, so just put 200 in radio and we'll call it a day. Yeah, Brian, it must be real tough. It's one I've never tried on stream. I might have to give it a go at some point. How long would it take to fly there from like mainland Portugal or Spain? Wouldn't even take too long, would it? And there's the Isle of Man. Yes, behind the skies, fly by wire. Yeah, 3 or 4 from the UK, so I'd probably want to start lower down. Maybe like start from Lisbon or something. Otherwise it's a long old cruise to get there, isn't it? How are we doing? 20,000. Let's transition. 6,000. Oh, what's that, James? Is that the TT? Or is that something different? "47 miles to Asda." Discord and all other stuff behind the skies is on hold. I'm doing tax stuff, which is incredibly boring, but also incredibly necessary. We've got another 8,000 to go. We also need to be at 220 knots. So what I might do is set this to 10. (10.5) even. And when we get there, I I'll get our speed under control, then do the rest of the descent down to 8,000. It's another minute or so, then we'll level out. Get that speed under control. Yeah, you're not wrong, James. It's a wonderful stick. The price is right too. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eyes open for the flaps and the add-on bit, because all I've got is the throttles at the moment. Tempted to get a 3D printer so I can start modding stuff. Alright, that feels like we're leveling out. Yes, we are. Okay, speed 220. Okay, so we'll get that speed lost. You see the tape coming down. Apologies if I sound a bit distant / not bothered today. It's not the intent at all. It's just I'm having a bit of trouble with my voice today. Actually, a little bit of an effort to talk, but such is the job. Alrighty, there's 220 knots nearly. It's got another 2,500 feet to go, 10 miles to do it. Should be doable. There we go. We're over Dublin. Or Irish soil, at least. Oh, you got the Turtle Beach ones, James. That's cool. Not overly familiar with them, I must admit. Right, let's get our lights on. Yeah, I've got the Logitech ones, which I think were the ones, like the Satec ones that were around for years prior, except that Logitech just bought Satec, I believe. And then that was kind of that. Oh yeah, those the like the cheaper Thrustmaster pedals. I considered those, if that's the ones I think you're talking about, sort of like the plasticky ones. But Thrustmaster also do these really expensive ones that are like metal, and I think they're nearly like £500. Okay, so we're at 8,000 feet. We are at 220 knots. Just have to wait until we get around to Dublin. We're basically kind of looping around the perimeter of Dublin, I suppose. Yeah, so I looked at those pedals when I was buying mine, and the reviews seem to favour the Logitech ones, so I just got those really. But that's my only reason. I think some people said that the cheaper Thrustmaster ones were a little bit like scratchy as you move them. I don't know. It's a long time ago. Right, it'll soon be time for me to land this thing, hopefully. Hopefully. Where are we at? Yeah, so almost there now. Almost. Look how red that soil is. Got a lot of family in Ireland, and they used to, I don't know if they still do, they used to, I think this is what you'd call like a peat bog. So they would dig peat out of the ground, and then they kind of dry it and turn it into like these almost bricks, dried out bricks of peat. It's like really thick soil, and they would burn it in their like stove things like Rayburns or whatever they're called. But it gives off a really distinct smell. It's like as soon as you arrive in Ireland, you smell that, you know you're in Ireland. Spent some time a few years ago working in Ireland, and I hadn't been for years. And as soon as we like got out the car and where we were working, you could just smell it instantly. It's a really nice smell. I like it a lot. What am I doing? The lights are already on, I've just turned them off. Muppet. Good, so let's do auto brake medium. On the speed brake. Get the speed into managed. So what we'll do, we're going to the perf page, activate our approach phase. This decel won't be long. What chair? I don't know, just some like rubbish leather executive chair, I think they call them, but trust me, there's nothing much executive about it. Okay, ground spoilers are armed, lights are on, let's get the landing system on. Auto brake medium. So we're looking good. Yeah, I need to get a new chair. I just don't know what to buy. I see a lot of ads for like gaming chairs and stuff, but they look the same. I'm fairly certain they all come out of like one factory somewhere and just get a different badge stamped on them. And I'm fairly certain they're all rubbish. So in an ideal world, I'd maybe get like a Herman Miller, but there's so much money. Oh god, I haven't descended. It's a mistake. Why didn't I do that? Should be at 4,000 feet here, I'm only at 8. Okay, speed brakes. Let's see if we can rescue this. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced Secret Lab are as good as perhaps everyone makes out they are. If I'm being perfectly honest. Alright, there is no way we're going to make this. I have to do heading select and bring us around. Just completely forgot to descend us down to 4,000 feet. It's too busy, like, looking out the window. It's because I'm not feeling very well, that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, I get the impression Secret Lab are alright. Maybe better than the cheap and nasty stuff you get elsewhere. I'm not entirely convinced they're all that amazing. Right, here we go. See the glide slopes coming back. Okay, what's local pressure? 1026. Right, hopefully now we can land the plane. With a bit of luck. Let's get ourselves over here a little bit more lined up. If we do a temporary directed Gannet. Good. BC's okay. I still feel a little bit deflated by the whole thing, really. It was a shame. It'd have been nice if that 4070 had worked out. But there we are. Maybe a 5800X3D. So it's either that or just sit tight and maybe put away a bit more money and build an absolute monster next year. What is the plane doing? Okay, though we should intercept the glide slope any moment. Struggling to actually see the runway. So if I've configured the plane correctly, it should start to capture that glide slope. Bit of luck. Is it going to do it? It's not going to do it, is it? I'll do it. Much more fun when we do it ourselves. Hey Loco, sorry I didn't see you there in the chat. Long time no speak. How are you? Alright, so we've got a very slight tailwind. Very, very slight.
2,500.
Get out.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Cheers, Loco. Appreciate the good vibes. Alright. So we do it being slightly over to the left. Looks like a very small amount of crabbing is necessary here.
$1,000.
Picture's looking good. This is where the ILS and the Pappies are going to start disagreeing most likely.
500. 400.
Didn't help. Looking down doing that last minute.
300.
Let's see if we can rescue this, shall we? Far too low.
200. Minimum.
Here we go.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Down you go. There it is. Ah, that was annoying having to look down and do that last minute. That really threw me off. Never mind. We made it. We made it, that's the main thing. A little bit floaty at the end there, but that's okay. Possibly overflared it. I didn't arm the ground spoilers because I had the ground spoilers out as part of our descent and I forgot to put them back. That's really silly. Never mind, lesson learned. I'll remember that for next time now, you can guarantee it. Right, let me just get to the gate and then I will address all the messages. In the meantime, let's get the APU on. Here we go. Let's go and find a gate. And then we'll get ourselves back to London. It always feels like it's a longer flight. The way on this approach, sort of doing that big wraparound of Dublin. It didn't help that I messed up the altitudes as well on coming into land. Not with it today, clearly. A bit of a thick head. It's because I'd idled the throttles before the call out would have taken place. You fly with Ryanair on Wednesday. I tell you what, Loco, we flew with them and back in April. And I was so jealous of the landing. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Really smooth, right on the touchdown markers. It's like, yeah, that is incredibly good. Now, in fairness, on the way out it wasn't so good. That was a definite, like, gadoosh, oh, we're here. We have arrived. This will do nicely. And then we'll get ready to get turned around and head back to Heathrow. Alright, parking brake on. Get these engines off. Right, before we get turned around, I'm just going to pop into the house. I'll be 2 minutes. I'll be back in just a moment.
The afters are disarmed.
The doors are verified.
Right. Let's get ourselves a flight plan back to Heathrow. No, not at the moment. I use ChartFox, but if I'm going to get on VATSIM, I think Navigraph will be absolutely essential. Alright, let's see if I can get this plane turned around. Remember what I'm doing. I always find it weird doing a turnaround. Whatever reason, flicking the switch on my throttle unit did not turn the engine off. New flight plan, Dublin to Heathrow. Fuel on board, 4,900 required. Payload.
Boarding completed.
Very good. Alright, let's have a look up top. So we're running on APU, fuel pumps are already on. Let's get APU bleed on. Don't need the strobe, put that to auto. Don't need the beacon just yet. Passengers strapped in. It's almost time to go. So ATSU, AOC. What? Go away. Init pres. Init data request. Dublin, Heathrow, 51 minutes. Happy days. It's all looking good. Oops, wrong button. Minus 51 for flex temp. Flaps 1/UP 0.1 and V1 130, 131, 135 V2. Now how am I getting out of Dublin? But we're going to use runway 10 right, which is the one that we came in on actually. That's kind of handy. No SID either. Yeah, we're going to go direct to end deck. And what about Heathrow? Runway 09 left. Using, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. NUG R1H. Okay, let's pop this into plan. Have a quick look. So yeah, makes sense that there's no SID out of Dublin because it's basically straight out. What about into Heathrow? ENN. That's better. Insert that. There we go. Via BNN. 7,000 feet, 7,000 feet, 3,500 feet, 3,000 straight in. Nice. Have a plan. Yeah, I do use SimBrief. Yeah. Sorry. Failing to focus on the chat. Alright, let's get the landing system off. We will keep flight directors on, constraints on. What's the plan for the way out? Straight up to flight level 350. Into thousands. And has local pressure changed? No, it has not. Yeah, that's good. On the spoilers. I think we can nearly think about pushback. So let's get our beacon light on. And we'll see if we can pre-plan this like we did last time. That seemed to work well last time. There. Let's push back. Runways departing. AV Geek is 10. Let me check. I've forgotten already. 10 right, I think. Yeah, 10 right, and then 09 left into Heathrow. Right, let's release the parking brake.
Use the emergency exits, 2 doors in the front, 4 window exits over the wing, and then 2 doors in the back. Each door is equipped with an evacuation slide that can be detached from the aircraft and used as a ramp. All exits are clearly marked with a sign overhead. If necessary, floor level lighting will illuminate the aisles helping find the exit. Please take a moment now to locate your closest exit and remember it may be behind you. If there is a change in cabin pressure, 4 oxygen masks will drop from overhead. Firmly pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, pull the elastic bands around your head, and tighten the straps on both sides. Even though the bag may not inflate, oxygen will be flowing. Be sure to put your mask on first before helping others, and we'll let you know when it's no longer needed. We'll be passing through the cabin to make sure we are ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt is fastened, your seat back is upright, your tray table is stowed, and all carrying items are put away. If you have any questions about the safety features of this aircraft, please don't hesitate to ask. Smoking, food, use electronic cigarettes is never allowed on any flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors and access restrooms is a federal offense and could result in a fine. For your convenience, this aircraft has 3 restrooms, 1 in the front of the cabin and 2 in the back, and each is equipped with an changing table. We'll be adjusting the main cabin lights for departure. If you need, there is a reading light above your seat. We're here to make sure you have a safe and comfortable flight. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoyed this experience.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Takeoff? Not quite. We're doing a straight out departure AV Geek, so direct, just straight into the first waypoint. Then we're using the Nugger 1H. NUGR 1H star into Heathrow. Head daughter brakes max. Turn off APU, turn off the bleeds. Taxi light on. Good times. Right. Let's taxi back. Now, I feel like I'm at the risk of getting lost. Okay, I think we go up here and then cross. And then we cross this runway, I believe. Oh yeah, I bet, James. Especially when you're getting kind of ordered around via air traffic. You know, use this taxiway, that taxiway. Yeah, that must be a lifesaver. So you say you have an iPad on your desk? Have you got like a Navigraph app or something where what it all links into? Hey, Harry, you're back. How's it going? So, James, are you doing that like through a web browser, or is that like, have you got like an iPad app or something, like an actual iOS app? Still waiting. Oh no. Right. Well, you're just in time. We're about to take off and head back to London, so hopefully that can help you pass the time. Navigraph app. Nice, okay. Yeah, I bet that is good in that case, and having it on a separate iPad. Right, this is us. Actually, maybe we'll go down to the next one. On the EFB in the plane. Cool. Okay, we'll just hold short at the end here. That was not good steering by me there. Right, let's get our lights set for takeoff. I think everything else is in order. I always feel a little bit concerned after a turnaround that I've forgotten something. I don't think we have. Flaps are set to 1, spoilers are armed. Alright, let's get out. Thank you, Harry. Yeah, Birmingham's a cool airport. In real life, too. Flown out of there once. I forget who with. Maybe even Ryanair. Yeah, it's alright, Birmingham. For like a... For a big airport, it's actually quite nice. If that makes sense. Here we go then. We do a little bit better on the lineup here. Okay. Let's get the N1 up to 40%. No alarms, that's always good. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Very good. Cheers, Harry. Yeah, nice easy one, that. Alright, coming up on 10,000. Sort the lights out. I mean, to be fair, Gaming Essential, you're banned on this channel too, you just keep appearing on different accounts. There we go. Leave an island behind. Buffalo, how you doing? Long time no speak. Love that song, you wing. Yeah, that's right. I got it. I understood. Halfway across the Irish Sea. Love it. I mean, that's like 4 hours on the boat, and what have we been flying for, like 2 minutes? Very cool. I don't get it, Gaming Essential. Why do it? Doesn't make any sense. don't know what's going on with the time in the progress bar. It's not making a huge amount of sense to me. I mean, it's right that we are climbing. But the time remaining is just a mile off. How'd you get your own livery? Great difficulty is the honest answer. So for the Airbus, hang on, let me just go to the outside view, I'll show you. So for this one, the fly-by-wire, you've got to really use Blender, because the way, if you imagine, like, you kind of got the textures that kind of wrap around the 3D model of the plane. If you try and draw this straight line, so I wanted two straight lines down the side of the plane that sort of merge up into the tail. If you were to download the paint kits and just draw a straight line, the line would actually sort of go like a curve, kind of like up here. And I thought, okay, fine, maybe I need to almost like draw the inverse of that to make it straight, but that was just a bad idea. That was like, that's never going to work. It was never quite right. So you get the 3D model in Blender and you bring in your graphics and start painting over the top of it. I am going to do a tutorial on it. There's a very popular paint kit on flightsim.to. It's the one where like the little thumbnail image of it on the site, I think it's like got a yellow bodied A320. I was maybe just going to take that and sort of recreate my livery with it and show you how I do it. I don't know if all that many people would be interested, but I figure it's could help. If it helps a few people, it's worth it. You know, that kind of approach, I think. All right, almost at flight level 350. What about on the way down? Tobid. I'd love to know where all these names come from. Where is Tobid? There. So how many miles is it to Tobid? 115. I can't wait for VNav. Save me doing all this. $35,000 feet down to, was it 20? Flight level 200. 57 miles. Okay, and what are we at? 110. I'm surprised there's not a feature on the Airbus where it allows you to see track miles to a waypoint. Instead, you just have to add it up. So we've got 58, 45, so 103, 110, 113, and this is saying 108. There's an additional 5 miles of track, because obviously it's calculating to Tobid, almost as the crow flies, so Tobid's like there, where my cursor is, and it's drawing a straight line from where we are. Of course it's not factoring in taking this track together. Don't worry, James. Sit tight for the tutorial. Hopefully that'll make more sense. It's yeah, it's tricky. And the thing is, you can learn how to do it for the Airbus, and then it's like, great, I'll go and do it for the PMDG Boeing, and it's a different playbook. I mean, the easiest way I found is if someone has been kind enough to create a model that you can import into Blender, uploaded it to like flightsim.to so you can just download it and start painting. That is the quickest way. Once you know how to use Blender, that is the quickest way to do it. With the PMDG 737, I've got the same livery on that, but I had to do it through a series of editing, loads of Photoshop stuff, and that took forever. Forever. Let's let the passengers out for a bit, shall we? Because you've got different Photoshop files for different parts of the plane, and they don't always line up as you'd expect them to, so there's a lot of trial and error. And the annoying thing is, if you make a mistake,
Ladies and gentlemen, once again to the flight deck and captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you
you kind of got to reboot the sim each time.
from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley cart shortly.
Temperature is 12
Also, one more reminder
degrees.
to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Wind is 50 and 8. Okay, that's done. Yeah, I think if I was going to make another livery for the 737, I would probably see if there's a 3D model on flightsim.to and do it that way. I did see a plugin for Blender where it would take, you can kind of point it at the folders for the default planes that like a Sobo give you. So if you wanted to make like a 747 livery or whatever else, maybe like A310, or maybe some of the GA aircraft, it will take those models and dump them into Blender for you, but couldn't quite get it to work when I tried. Right, so we're 84 miles out and 57 required. Or rather, we're 83 as the crow flies, and yeah, okay, 75. No, wait, 85. And this says 80, so this is minus 5 miles of what it actually is. So when this says 52, then it'll be time to descend, I think. It's probably the way to do it. Right, can't be far now. 67, which is actually more like 73. So this is the start of our star into Heathrow. What is our transition altitude? It's 7,000. The Apple 132. Yeah, definitely James. Absolutely. You take it easy. Have a good day at work. I can make a tutorial on the 737-8. What, for the livery? Okay, time to go down, I think. Oh, like the startup. Excuse me, sorry.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Yeah, I suppose I could do one for the 737 AV Geek. I mean, I don't really consider myself an expert on the 737 at all. But I'd be happy to share what I do know. Yeah, it's an intimidating plane if you've never done much with it before. I mean, you can maybe try getting a checklist off of flightsim.to. There are checklists available on there. It's one of those things, I think, like, if you know it, it's easy, isn't it? It's only easy if you know the answer, that kind of thing. Because by your own admission, you're a troublemaker, you're already banned on loads of other channels, you came here and caused trouble under an alt account, and you keep appearing on other alt accounts, so bye-bye. Not sure we're going to make that 20,000 feet waypoint. That seems ambitious. Take it easy, AV Geek. I will endeavour to make a video about the 737 at some point. Yeah, it must be late for you now. I think we are going to make it, actually. I think we will. So we're going flight level 200, then flight level 150. And we're sort of doing a bit of an S into Heathrow. We've also got to be at 220 knots for the next waypoint. WCO, while also getting ourselves down to 7,000 feet for BNN. down to 150. Okay. I'm not entirely sure we're going to make this waypoint at like level 150. Keep going down to 7,000. Right, let's get that speed under control. Coming up on 15,000 feet. Probably some speed brakes would help at this point. Alright, that's good. 220 knots. Okay, what's going on here? Need to concentrate. because we do not want to make a mess like we made last time. Okie dokie. Flight level 70, 220 knots, which we're at, 10 miles to drop. Ooh, I don't think we're going to be able to do that, are we? Speed brakes. That will increase our ability to descend quicker and maintain our speed. Hey, Philip. Appreciate the sub. Okay, we might just make that. I don't know. Actually, I'm thinking probably we're not going to make it. We'll be a little bit late, but whatever. Okay, it's time for lights, then it'll be time for transition. Which I believe is 7,000 feet. What's the local pressure in Heathrow? Let's do a weather check actually. 50 and 7 knots, okay, it's not the worst. That's not the worst, is it? Okay, I'm going to get rid of the minimap, just because we're basically nearly at Heathrow, so... You can see it's just up ahead there. Let's do local pressure, is it 1025, was it? 1025. Yes, it was. So once we get to here, we'll start our descent down to 3,000 feet, or 3,500 feet, because we must be above 3,500 feet at this waypoint, 3,000 to pick up the ILS. Then we're in. Nice and easy. And of course, going to our local pressure now means we're actually 300 feet above what standard pressure had us at, so we need to nibble away at that now. There's Heathrow just coming into view. So we're going to sort of wrap around, do a bit of a U-turn, and 09 left. That's what we're coming in on, and we're going to try and park up in Terminal 5 there. Right where we started 2 hours and 45 minutes ago. Lovely job. Oh, Ozflight Simmer. Thank you so much for the donation. Huge fan of the channel. That's amazing. I feel starstruck now. I get all nervous. Mess up the landing. What a nice surprise. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, really. Right, come on. Don't mess it up. What a nice surprise. Genuinely, that means the world. It really does. Still not sure why the time remaining is an hour. Seems like it's been climbing ever since we left Dublin. I must have messed up the time or something. Must have done. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm always watching your videos. Love them. Oh, thank you for your content. Genuinely. Okay, let's get ourselves into approach mode. Lovely job. Here we go then. Eyes down for a full house. We're going to miss this waypoint, aren't we? Got quite some margin. Let's get ourselves slowed right down, and at least that'll buy us the time to hopefully get ourselves back on track. I feel like this could go either way. "2,000 feet above where we should be. This isn't good." The ILS diamond is starting to creep up though, I feel. It is slowly, isn't it? It is catching us back. It's coming. I think we can rescue this. Easy. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's coming back up, look. We're fine. Oh. I feel like I've been a bit off my game a bit today. So I woke up on the wrong side of bed. Definitely got a...
2,500.
I feel like I've got a cold or something.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Alright, let's arm those spoilers. Auto brake medium. 3 greens. Flaps full. We're doing good. Looking good now, yeah, it's a little bit ropey back there. We a little bit slow on the descent. Got myself in a position where I was trying to decel and descend at the same time. It's a bit silly of me, I shouldn't have done that. Feels like we're a little bit left of the runway here. There we go. Right. Hold it steady. Nice and steady. Little tiny movements.
1,000.
Bit of wind there. Happy say we're a bit low. As does the ILS markers. There we go, Happy's are happy now.
$500. $400.
Come on, don't mess it up. People have paid good money for this.
300. $200.
Picture looks good, despite what the Pappies are saying.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Down you go. Go on. There it is. Rating ourselves up the rudder. Reverse idle. And we're down. Whew. A little bit on the floaty side, that. A little bit on the floaty side, and I feel like I flirted with being on the lower side of where I should have been on that glide slope during short final, but that's okay. I think all things considered, that was alright. I've been on worse, put it that way. And I've certainly done worse. Right, where is Terminal 5? It's going to be behind us, isn't it? My FPS is starting to feel a bit choppy. I wonder what we're getting. Let's have a look. So I've got it locked to 30 FPS via VSync. Cheers, Brian. Take it easy. Nice to see you in the chat today. That's pretty good. A locked 30 I'll take. It's a long old taxi back to Terminal 5, isn't it? I'm starting to get the itch to buy some premium airports. Having seen what the Gatwick, flightsim.to Gatwick is like, I feel like I've potentially caught the bug a little bit. Just maybe. Well, that was a very nice morning flying. I did enjoy that. I feel like I haven't been on the top of my game though. Not really. So I woke up with a funny head today. I just feel a little bit spaced out. Don't do it. Once you buy one, you buy... Oh, this is it. This is the thing, isn't it? Maybe if I got some... Because I find I do tend to go to a lot of the same airports. So maybe if I made a list, but then if I made that list will probably frighten me. Like, oh, that's about $400 worth of airports. I need to become a big time streamer, don't I? Then everyone will give them to me for free. And start dictating terms. Maybe someday. But for now, like you say, slippery slope, I think. Slippery slope indeed. I say I narrowly avoided the Innie builds, May Madness or whatever they called it, May Mayhem, something like that. I was going to buy the JFK, Detroit and LAX bundle for £20. But I was streaming at the time that I learnt about the deal. And by the time I'd finished streaming, they'd taken it down. So maybe that was a blessing in disguise, as you say. Alright, I think... maybe this is the gate we started at. No, it wasn't. It's the one next door with the bus. Never mind. Off by one, I'll take it. Let's try and do my smoothest braking on the rudder pedals. There we have it. Right. So, APU is on. Parking brakes set. Engines off. Wow, thank you very much indeed, everyone. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And Ozflight Simmer, awesome to see you in the chat, really. Been a big fan of your channel for a while. Thank you again for the very generous donation. It really does mean the world, that, so thank you very much indeed. As for when we'll be back, probably, maybe tomorrow, but definitely Wednesday. Same time Wednesday. Be a different time slot tomorrow if I do go live, so for those of you in the southern hemisphere, it might be completely the wrong end of the day for you, because it'll be my evening time here in the UK. But thank you all for being here. Very much appreciated. Nick, take care. And I'll see you all in the next stream. Take care.